Ability group members. My name is Nicole and I'm going to be going through my person 5 on this week's challenge. So person 5 is tasked with splitting data. I'm going to make two separate videos, one for the array method of doing this and one for the hash method. So this is video 1 of 1, splitting data in an array. So in the README file, it calls for person 5 to split data on an array and a hash. At times you will want to split data into two arrays based on a condition. Create a myArray splitting method that will split the original array into two separate nested arrays, two arrays within one array. The first nested array should include all integers and the second nested array should include all other values. This should not alter the original data structure. For example, myArray splitting method on I want pets is going to yield two separate arrays, one just of integers and one just of strings. So just to demonstrate this, here is the method that I have put together for this, but I'm just going to go straight into the console so you guys can see what I have going on. So I'm just going to run this file, which is my splitarray.ruby file. So from here you can see that I have two separate output arrays, one with just integers and one with just strings, exactly how the example calls. So obviously you see that I made a new file for this, which is my split array file rather than working in the my solution because it was a little bit easier to demonstrate. So I have this new splitarray.rb file that I'm working out of. So for this, just to demonstrate, I put the original array I want pets up here and I put a print for an output so you guys can see what I have going on, but just for this you don't really need to do that. I have my RSpec down here just to check, and I have it commented out because if I tried to run this and also run the RSpec, it would give me an error. So just to run through this real quick, the first thing I did was define my array. So this is given by DBC, and my argument is the input array. So the output calls for three separate arrays. Well, actually there's one array with two nested arrays within it. The main array is going to be your output array, and within that output array there's an array just for strings and an array just for numbers. So I started this out, and this might not be the most quickest best runtime way to do things, but I just defined each of these arrays up top so that way I can call them out later. So for the method, what I did was I used the .each statement, which is the .each method, which is going to call each individual element within the array and do something to it. So for this, I'm using do, and I'm checking the values of each element. So this was a little bit hard for me to come to, this this next line 9. So I'm checking using an if statement if the value is numeric. So the value is underscore a question mark is basically, this is underscore a checks is a method on an object. So the object that we're referring back to is value, and what it's checking is if it's numeric. So is underscore a question mark, let me just bring you to the Ruby file. It calls a class. So for this specific instance, the class that we're calling is the numeric class of Ruby. So a numeric class is the same thing, used the same way as like an array class or a hash class would be used. So is a, and then the class would be numeric. So we're checking to see if the value is numeric. This was tricky, so I'm saving you a lot of time here. So if it does turn out that the value is numeric, what we're going to do is input that value into the number array. And because we're using each here, we're checking each value of the array, and then it's going to iterate until it goes through each of the values. So if it turns out that the value is not numeric, then it's going to go to our else statement and input the value into the string array. So it's going to go through each element to check if it's numeric. If it is, it's going to put it into my number array. If it's not, then it's going to put it into my string array. So that ends our if statement. From there, what we have to do is basically populate our output array. So the first part of the output array, our first element, is the number array. So that's going into the first position of the output array. And the second position 1, is going to be the string array. Obviously I can do it vice versa. It doesn't make a difference in the it doesn't explain which one they want first, but I'm not sure if it affects it in our spec. I didn't try it the other way, but I'm assuming it'll work. So, and then I'm going to return the output array. So what I'm returning output array is what you get here on the second line here. So just to run this again, this is exactly what you're going to get for this. So this is my method. I hope you guys liked it.